Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Still be weather aware as we're still timing this active pattern. Multiple likely chances of rain. We're still in the middle of that, but we have a break today. And we had a break yesterday for a day. No rain in Charleston. Month to date is 10.31 inches as of August 18th, and we're going to make a run to our potentially wettest August on record with under 2 weeks of the month to go yet to just get over a tenth of an inch of rain or so to be the wettest August on record. Over the next 5 days, I'll have to watch for more likely rain. Wednesday night into Thursday is our next best chance, which will be a likely shot for showers and thunderstorms. Tonight, there is a marginal to slight risk of excessive rain. We are well familiar with this map at this point. That means isolated to widely scattered flash flooding is possible, with our next trough coming in, and also another marginal risk Thursday night for areas of the state. And in the long term, I'll watch a cold front around Saturday. Fly saver forecast, it starts at home. Areas like Charlotte, Orlando, Tampa, Myrtle Beach, still concerns with heat out there for our friends to the south and southeast, and some have some showers and storms too. From Panhandle to Panhandle, dry, increasing cloud cover, and then late and overnight, likely chance of showers and storms. For the foothills and mountains, highs around the 70s near 80, around the mid-80s to upper 80s for the eastern Panhandle today. Across our northern areas, lots of low to mid-80s in here. Dry for now before rain becomes likely late and overnight. Our southern areas, dry for now. Again, a break before I'll watch for our next likely chance of showers around Thursday. For our 7-day forecast in Charleston, Morgantown, 80% chance of showers tomorrow with a high near 80. I'll watch for that risk of heavy rain. Chance of showers and storms Friday and again on Saturday, and then most likely a break again, dry Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
With news from across the state, this is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law, with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
Flood, Flock, and Willie. That's all coming up during the next hour. Jeff Jenkins setting in for Dave Allen. This is Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
2:06 on this Wednesday afternoon. Jeff Jenkins sitting in for Dave Allen today on Metro News Midday. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. We've got some information for you during the next hour. Stay tuned for that coming up in just a moment. We've got Charleston Mayor Amy Goodwin who is with us. She's going to give us an update on the devastating flooding in the city after a near record amount of rain back on Sunday. So the mayor will give us an update where they are on just recovery, starting assessment, all those things coming up. So we'll talk with the mayor. Also, a little explosion today at the Monongalia County Commission meeting over flock cameras. Mike Nolting is going to talk about that later this half hour. And then coming up after the bottom of the hour, we'll join John Antonik of the WVU Athletic Department. If you follow John at all, you know he is the resident historian of WVU Sports, and we're going to get his take on the death of the life of Willie Akers. All of that and more this hour on Metro News Midday. Thanks for joining us. It's 2:07. I'm Jeff Jenkins, and joining me now is Charleston Mayor Amy Goodwin. Mayor, how you doing?
I'm okay, Jeff. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, hanging in there, I know, and it's been just a whirlwind since that storm hit. I heard an interview you did earlier, and you know you're the mayor, but we're kind of in the same line of work, or we have been, over the years. And when it was raining Sunday hard, I heard you say, and I thought, I don't know if I verbalized it, but I kind of thought the same thing as it was raining hard, that you just kind of sense that there was something different about that rain, and tragically there was.
Yeah. I've been in and around, just like you, this work for 30 plus years. And funny, not funny, I looked up and my husband said, it's bad. And I said, yeah, I'm going to go get dressed, because you know. And, the thing that I know from working at the federal level in Washington, D.C., to the governor's office for two different governors at the state capitol, and now being here, boots on the ground in municipal government, you watch the sky, you watch the winds. It's like we're our own little personal meteorologist. You have a fixation and a fascination with weather because it impacts your residents, it impacts your roads, it impacts the amount of accidents that are going to happen. So it doesn't matter if it's wind or rain or snow. Mayors in particular are always very in tune. And sad to say that doing it for 30 years in Appalachia, you unfortunately get good at predicting when you know something is going to happen, because you can't have that much rain happen in such a short period of time. And you have reported on this, Jeff, ad nauseum, but it's the ground saturation, and with the amount of rain, it was really no fighting at a certain point. We are just so incredibly thankful that even though this, the major part happened in the evening, that no lives were lost here in the city of Charleston, which could have been a totally different story, including one of our own.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we've heard that story even on Midday today. Just amazing there. And so where would you say, Mayor, things are, and we're just a couple of days out of it, obviously, and there's still so much going on. As you kind of take a step back and look at it, kind of where are things now than, obviously they're different than they were Sunday night, but where are things now?
It is a, just like the stages of grief, Jeff, there are stages in a flood of disbelief, shock, sadness, anger. But one thing that remains consistent that I know in all of the counties, I've traveled all over the state doing flood work, is that one thing remains consistent. The help continues, resources continue, and people keep digging out every day. We just put on the top of a garbage can a teacher. I won't name her name, but a teacher who reached out last night who said, I got to teach tomorrow, but I'm in desperate need of contract bags. I got to go to school today, but if I could have some contractor bags when I get home, that would be great. They're going to be sitting there when she came out of school today and arrives on her doorstep, because that's what people need right now. People need not just the donations. I got to be honest with you. It is hard for people who are now back to work. Many of our families are back to work. And how do you manage a flood cleanup with jobs, with babies, with childcare, by the way, with health issues, with doctor's appointments? And so what we tried to do now after the initial shock is continue those resources and also be very strategic of what are the certain needs. Every household needs something different. And every household, it almost seems like, you think, these are all have this amount of water. That's not really how it works in a flood. Every house, every setup is different. And so assessing and evaluating. But the thing that we want to always tell people, and I'm literally, when I hang up with you, I'm walking out the door to go meet more families, is that I got to have you take photos. It is so challenging, Jeff, to ask people to take photos of things that you loved and bought and that are piled up now in one side of the room. But we need you to do it. We need you to do it because we need you to not only do it for yourself, but us to try to work together to recover monies. I said it yesterday, but when somebody, as a city, as I did, and as a county did, declared a state of emergency, that's not a guarantee of money. That is saying this is a tragic situation. This is a huge problem. We're going to need time, money, and resources and reimbursement of that. That doesn't mean we're automatically going to get it. So not only documenting what happened to you in your home, on your street, we're doing it here in the city, but also that survey, by golly, if you wanted to give it to you, Jeff, in the most simplest terms, here's what we need people to do. Call 211. If you call 211, what we can do is we can help you with whatever specific need you have and direct you to the 123 survey. It's a 5-question survey. It doesn't take very much time at all to do, but it's critical in the process of we need as much information as we possibly can. In the meantime, also what's happening is, Margaret O'Neill and the amazing folks at the United Way are continuing with their resources and especially food. By the way, Jeff, if you don't have power and everything got knocked out, you don't have anywhere to cook. And so continuing with food, they have helped us significantly. Our faith community, St. Anthony's Church, Katie Lane. Everybody knows Katie Lane. If you live on the west side, if you don't know Katie Lane, shame on you. You should. St. Anthony's is doing an amazing project with the United Way to do a pasta supper. We're going to be delivering. It's dine-in or take-out. This is also the thing, Jeff. Sometimes you need to get out. Mm-hmm. You need to get out. And, I watched yesterday and the day before people that were head down moving forward. We're good at that, too, unfortunately. We're good at it. You got to eat, man. You got to have something to drink, and you've got to take care of yourself because you're in a traumatic situation. You got to take care of yourself or it's going to be a worse situation. Plus, the weather is okay today, but it gets hot when you're in a house that doesn't, in floodwaters or muck as well. So I just give those couple things to you to say, we're in the stage of grief that is still a little bit of sadness, a little bit of anger, and moving forward, one foot in front of the other. But the resources are continuing. If you need them, call us. We'll get them to you. We're up and down on side-by-sides throughout our community. You call me, 348-8174. If you can't get anybody else and you can't get what you need through 211, you will be able to. But if something snaps and you can't, just call me, and we'll try to help you as best as we possibly can. Andrew, Andrew, my executive assistant,
right?
He actually went up there and delivered those garbage bags for the school teacher. To say that we are all hands on deck, this is what municipal government does. These are the teachers and the doctors and the service providers in our community that we're taking care of. And I should at least end this sentence with thank you to Metro News. Thank you to your team, Jeff, because this is where people also turn when they need help. They turn to you, and you are in public service. Media is a public service provider. Metro News and what you have done and your family there at the station, I cannot walk through the door without somebody saying, what do you need? I just literally saw Bobby Spry, who did a State of the Valley speech. I just saw Dave Allen, what do you need? And so thank you for not only reporting out where people need to go, what they need to do, but also taking care of our families as well.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Mayor, for that. And you're right. I mean, 211, that's easy to do. People can do it. And you can't stress enough how important the surveys are because that really starts everything. You need to hand them in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. And it by the way, I get it. You're busy. You're frustrated. You're angry. I don't have time to do this. I've got to do. I get all of those things. But it is a way that we can start building a case. You are helping not only yourself with your own insurance, but helping us for federal funds, state funds, and a continuation of assistance. So it is critical that those photos and that survey get done because we don't have enough. I mean, we get the numbers that are coming in, and looking at the numbers on this piece of paper in front of me, we need more. We know you're out there. We know it's stressful. By the way, we're going to be out there all day today and tonight and tomorrow. You need help filling out that survey? I promise you, Jeff, you know me well enough to know, and I mean this, I'll come to your house and help you fill it out. We'll have somebody from our team come to the house and help you fill it out. Heck, our police officers yesterday and today are in side-by-sides delivering not only food, not only buckets, not only mops, sanitary products. They are out there doing shovels and helping people, drive them down on a side-by-side to get a tetanus shot. We will help you through this trying time. Let us help you. Let us help you get these things done.
Well said, Mayor, and we'll continue to put the information out. I know you're busy. Thanks for sparing a few minutes and go talk to those families.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. Mayor Amy Goodwin of Charleston. Yeah, I mean, she's right. It's an all-hands-on-deck situation. And I was thinking of this because, some of our, it's a statewide show, obviously. And so a lot of our listeners may just come to Charleston for the basketball tournament or for, regatta or for some other things. There's, big events here. It has to do with education or something like that. You may want to, or come for a big concert at the Coliseum and Convention Center. You may want to say, where was that flooding at? Because it's pretty flat, right? The east end near the Capitol, the west side. But, Charleston is also part of Charleston are, the hill areas. And then there's these creeks. You got Sugar Creek and you got Garrison Avenue that has a creek. So you got these little creeks that flow down and they flow either into the Elk River or they flow into the Kanawha River. And it's those areas that got it. It's the creek areas of the city that were hit hard, particularly it would be on the north side of the city, not across the Kanawha River, but really the north side of the city, more toward some of that toward Yeager Airport, if you kind of think of that area. And that's really the spot that got those spots in near Sissonville Drive, which is Route 21 heading towards Sissonville. Kind of those areas are the ones that got really hard hit here in Charleston. But you could hear it in the mayor's voice there that they don't have enough surveys. They need these surveys filled out because this will help the state as the state through the county, through Kanawha County, then through the state, turn this information in to try to get FEMA assistance, disaster assistance, whether it's individual or public assistance. Of course, you're hoping for individual assistance here that the folks in Upshur and Lewis County know that have individual assistance now. You can get some help with FEMA through this. So we would encourage you, as the mayor said, just call 211 and get the process started or call her office and they'll help you fill out this survey. It's 2:20. This is Metro News Midday. We're going to go to Monongalia County next and talk about what happened at the county commission meeting earlier today with WAJR's Mike Nolting. That after this.
It's the WVRC Media Cares for Kids Radiothon this Thursday and Friday, raising money to support the incredible care provided by WVU Medicine Golisano Children's. From life-saving treatments to the little comforts that help make a child's stay a little easier. Your donation helps keep those programs going. Now, you can text the word WVU Kids to 34984 for a link to donate via credit or debit, PayPal, Apple Pay, or Venmo. It's the WVRC Media Cares for Kids Radiothon supporting WVU Medicine Golisano Children's this Thursday and Friday.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZMM Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZMM, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Football season begins right here on Metro News Television. Join us Thursday, August 27th for the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Presented by the Army National Guard. The Cameron Dragons battle the Clay Battelle Seabees live from Blacksville. Don't miss the first kickoff of the new season. The 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Thursday, August 27th at 7 p.m. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Powered by GoMart. Only on Metro News Television.
I think many people have a misconception that all that we do is infertility care, and that's not the case. Reproductive health matters whether or not you're trying to conceive. So we can be dealing with endometriosis, ovulation dysfunction, PCOS. You're getting linked up with all the specialties that you need to optimize your care. And being an advocate for your reproductive health is important. The most rewarding times that I have is when I'm empowering people to take control of their health.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniel's.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown!
2:25 on Metro News Midday. Jeff Jenkins with you, filling in for Dave Allen. Thanks for joining us. Go to our website, WVMetroNews.com. Lead story there is the reaction across the state on the death of Willie Akers, and we'll have more with John Antonik of the WVU Athletic Department coming up past the bottom of the hour. Also, a couple of news stories posted. We've been reporting about the woman who went missing in the South Branch of the Potomac River in Hampshire County back on Monday. Her body has been recovered tragically there. Appears to be a drowning there. And we've got that story updated. Appalachian Power says service has been restored now to everyone impacted by the Sunday storms. So we've got that story at WVMetroNews.com. And then Chris Lawrence has posted a story. Key roads in the New River Gorge may be closed for a while after that storm on Sunday. 2:26. We've got a couple of minutes here before the break. Mike Nolting joins me now, WAJR Radio in Morgantown. Mike, flock cameras again at the Monongalia County Commission meeting, but this time the discussion was ramped up a little bit. What happened?
Yes, it sure was. Well, about 8 members of the public spoke during the public portion, and one, former attorney with Mountain State Justice and current downtown business owner Lindsay Jacobs, just refused to comply with basic rules of providing your name and address prior to giving a public comment. And she engaged in what was first a debate that devolved into an argument that ended up with her being flanked by 2 bailiffs and telling the commission and the bailiffs that, you know, hey, look, you're going to have to carry me out. Once she found out that they were serious, and they did grab her by the arms, of course, she told them to get their hands off of her, and she was then escorted out of the meeting room. That was kind of the focal point of what happened today. But some of the things I think that are being misunderstood, at least here in this community, is the fact that they've got the base flock system in this area, meaning that it's an automatic license plate reader that also snaps a picture of the back of your car. So if your car or your license plate is the focus of an Amber Alert, a Silver Alert, a criminal complaint, a hit and run, anything like that, well, then that camera is going to create a hit. Now, what they call a hit then requires the deputy to do the legwork to find out exactly what happened, where it happened, and who did it before they act on a flock tip.
How did the commission react today? We got about a minute here, Mike. How did the commission react to kind of the fireworks there today?
I'd say very composed, very collected. They certainly continue to offer one-on-one sessions with these folks between them and the sheriff's department to get more details about these camera systems. But what I'm hearing is those they're willing to come to the public meetings, but not so much willing to make the requests and meet in person.
Okay, we'll have a story coming up at WVMetroNews.com. Mike, thanks a lot for the report. Appreciate it.
Take care, Jeff.
All right, Mike Nolting, WAJR Radio there in Morgantown. Again, hot button topic for sure, flock cameras, and we're seeing it all across the state, particularly there in Monongalia County. Stay tuned. Coming up in just a couple of minutes when we return, John Antonik from the WVU Athletic Department will join us. We'll talk about kind of where Willie Akers, now past at the age of 89, fits into the history of West Virginia University. That with John coming up in just a couple of moments. And we'll also have a little interesting take that someone else says about Willie as he served as a county commissioner in Logan County. That and more on the way next. This is Metro News Midday. Thanks for joining us.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Still be weather aware as we're still timing this active pattern. Multiple likely chances of rain. We're still in the middle of that, but we have a break today. And we had a break yesterday for a day. No rain in Charleston. Month to date is 10.31 inches as of August 18th, and we're going to make a run to our potentially wettest August on record with under 2 weeks of the month to go yet to just get over a tenth of an inch of rain or so to be the wettest August on record. Over the next 5 days, I'll have to watch for more likely rain. Wednesday night into Thursday is our next best chance, which will be a likely shot for showers and thunderstorms. Tonight, there is a marginal to slight risk of excessive rain. We are well familiar with this map at this point. That means isolated to widely scattered flash flooding is possible, with our next trough coming in, and also another marginal risk Thursday night for areas of the state. And in the long term, I'll watch a cold front around Saturday. Fly Saver forecast, it starts at home. Areas like Charlotte, Orlando, Tampa, Myrtle Beach, still concerns with heat out there for our friends to the south and southeast, and some have some showers and storms too. From Panhandle to Panhandle, dry, increasing cloud cover, and then late and overnight, likely chance of showers and storms. For the foothills and mountains, highs around the 70s near 80, around the mid-80s to upper 80s for the eastern Panhandle today. Across our northern areas, lots of low to mid-80s in here. Dry for now before rain becomes likely late and overnight. Our southern areas, dry for now. Again, a break before I'll watch for our next likely chance of showers around Thursday. For our 7-day forecast in Charleston, Morgantown, 80% chance of showers tomorrow with a high near 80. I'll watch for that risk of heavy rain. Chance of showers and storms Friday and again on Saturday, and then most likely a break again. Dry Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, go down there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's
me
a
too.
great point. Join Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com. You want to know what West Virginia is talking about?
It's good to be back in Morgantown today.
Now it's different.
I think it's mostly just business.
What I voted for and what I think makes the most sense.
Well, Dave, this has been a bit of a controversy.
I want to thank the caller last week that said I sounded like Hoppy Kercheval. That was flattering.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line on Metro News Television.
wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
2:34 on this Wednesday afternoon. Jeff Jenkins sitting in for Dave Allen on the third hour of Metro News Midday today. Thanks for joining us. Get the news of the day at WVMetronews.com. And our lead story there as the state reacts to the death of Willie Akers. And to get the history, a little bit of take on the history of Willie Akers, especially when it comes to West Virginia University, we go to John Antonik of the WVU Athletic Department. John, the author of several books, the resident historian there. John, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing well, Jeff. Sad day here at West Virginia. Obviously, Willie passing away. We were aware that the end was near, and so I had some time to prepare some stuff over the weekend. But yeah, still passing away. It's a sad time. You know, Jeff, I was thinking about this on the drive to work today. You know, Willie played at perhaps maybe the finest period in the state's history in terms of athletes being produced. If you think back to that time in the 50s, you know, you had the coal mine industry was thriving in the southern part of the state. You had the chemical industry in the Kanawha Valley and in the Ohio Valley, and then you had the steel industry in the upper Ohio Valley. So you had more people here, and consequently you had more ball players. And during that period, a lot of these guys that played on the all-state teams in the mid-50s in football and basketball, they were playing at Division I schools. And I pointed this out one time to Willie. I said, Willie, you know, why did you come to West Virginia and be a supporting player to Jerry West when a lot of these other guys like Howard Hurt at Duke or Johnny Fry at Duke or Dwayne Wingler at Kentucky, Buzzy Wilkinson going on to Virginia were becoming prominent players and stars in their own right? And Willie gave me a great answer. He said, the reason that I came to West Virginia to play with Jerry West is because I wanted to win. And I knew that Jerry West, wherever he went, was going to win. And Willie was kind of the epitome of the players that West Virginia had at that time, guys that just wanted to win basketball games.
Well, and you know, he's right. And you've got the numbers there in front of what an amazing streak those guys, because of course freshmen were not eligible. So when they play their sophomore, junior, and senior years, all they did basically was win. Yeah, and, you know, you look at a guy like Willie, you know, Willie was, you know, obviously he became such a successful coach at Logan. And I remember Fred Schaus telling me this one time. He said, you know, you can build, and this was kind of his philosophy on building teams. Anybody can see a talent like Jerry West. It's apparent to everybody. The secret is finding those little pieces to put around a Jerry West. A guy like a Willie Akers who was willing to play defense and rebound. Guys like Ronnie Redden and Bucky Boggart who were quick and fast and were utilized on the press. And I think Fred was brilliant. And if you go back and you look at the history of West Virginia, the teams that have been successful have had coaches who were resourceful and could figure out what pieces fit where and how to make those pieces work. When Schaus had the number one ranked team in the country in Willie's sophomore year, he had a 6'10" center. They were more of a traditional style of team. And then with Lloyd Sher, who was a 6'10" center, All-American player and a great player in his own right, well, Lloyd Sher graduates, and so Fred has to tweak his roster and use guys like Willie Akers and Bob Clausen to walk on, and he played his own press, and he would bring in Ronnie Redden and those guys, and they would, you know, full court press and do that, and that was the style that they played, and that was the style that ultimately got him to the national championship game. So Fred was like all those great coaches that we've had through the years could figure out what they needed to do to be successful and then fill in those pieces. John Antonik's with us, WVU Athletic Department, on the passing of Willie Akers. John, talk about just the duo of West and Akers, how they hooked themselves together. You've documented this, and they readily talked about it and how it was such a unique friendship. even though miles apart for much of their adult lives, there was none closer.
Yeah, Willie, believe it or not, probably had a bigger reputation in high school than Jerry did up until Jerry blew up his senior year. Willie was a two-time first-team All-Stater when Jerry was only a one-timer. He really came on his senior year. Well, the two went to Boys State together, and they struck up a friendship there. Jerry always was a little bit in his shell a little bit, and Willie was kind of the alter ego, I guess, the more outgoing personality and so forth. And Jerry readily said that, one of the reasons that he remained in college was because of his friendship with Willie. Willie was such a close personal friend. Later, he referenced him as being a soulmate. And so the two were lifelong friends. And, in his book, Jerry wrote that, had I not gotten married, I would have tried to convince Willie to go to Los Angeles with me because that's how close they were. And they remained close for the rest of their lives. And I thought there was something pointed to that Jerry had mentioned. Jerry had, all the things that he accomplished in his life. He said, I was always envious of Willie because, he was happy and content in the life that he lived in Logan. And what he accomplished as a coach and what he accomplished as an administrator and as a public servant, he said, I was envious of that. Willie had a great life. He had a great circle of people around him. He loved West Virginia University, and he was one of the biggest fans and supporters throughout his life. So I think Willie lived the life that he wanted to live, and I know the people. It's a great loss, obviously, to the people in Logan County.
Yeah, and John, talk about that finally a little bit about Willie's support for the university because that continued over the decades.
Well, just a big supporter. I know that for years when they would have fantasy camps and different things, Willie, up to the point where he was able and still active and mobile, Mountaineer Athletic Club events, golf tournaments, anything that he could offer his name to and time and support, he never turned that down. And just a great friend and supporter of West Virginia University through all those years. And it's certainly been a big loss to West Virginia University, no question.
And you talked to a lot of people. You've talked to Willie over the years. I mean, was there anybody as approachable as Willie? I mean, very approachable guy.
Oh, unbelievable. Just a great human being. And again, something that Jerry referenced, he's met a lot of nice people in his life, but there's nobody that he's ever met in all the years that he lived nicer than Willie Akers. And I think that's a fitting tribute to somebody who was just a kind and generous and just a giving person.
Yeah, 2 years ago now, I think we lost Jerry, right? 2 years ago. And now,
yes.
Now we lose Willie. Okay.
Hard to believe.
Yeah. All right, John, I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, John Antonik, longtime historian, WVU Athletic Department, sharing thoughts on Willie Akers. This is Metro News Midday. It's 2:42. We'll be back right after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Hey, I take offense of that.
Why would you do that? Because on midday, the last segment, the first thing I hear when those mics go on is you just coughing, and I'm just like, this guy.
You don't appreciate me giving that show a little ratings boost at the end, a little boom boom?
You coughing directly onto these microphones? No, I don't want it.
I don't know where this came from.
Everybody.
I'm in another room, guys. I don't know.
Everybody.
Hey, Coop,
I'm just
what's up?
watching this.
Hotline on Metro News Television.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all
month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. Thank you for 23 years, Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop Thora.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
A lot of patients come here without much hope, and I think we can give them hope.
We offer a full spectrum of interventions suitable for every kind of person that walks through our door. We do absolutely everything we can to help you achieve your family building goals.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Morning, TJ Meadows.
Good morning, sir. It's yet another beautiful day to be in pursuit of happiness, is it not?
I like the optimism. Let's see if we can take care of that by the end of the show today, shall we? Any thoughts, Mr. Meadows?
Talkline, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
The American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
.245 Metro News Midday for a Wednesday afternoon. Jeff Jenkins with you on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia, sitting in for Dave Allen today. Dave Weekley will be by before the top of the hour, host of Metro News Hotline. We've heard a lot about Willie Akers today, of course, the basketball legend, coach, WVU player, longtime coach at Logan High, where he won state titles. And then, his life also included service in the Logan County school system, county commissioner in Logan County. And I wanted to just shed that side of it here just for a couple of minutes before our next break. I spoke with Steve Canterbury today. Steve Canterbury, the former director of the West Virginia Regional Jail Authority. And there was a time when Willie Akers served as a member of the Logan County Commission on the Regional Jail Authority board. And it was during that time that major decisions were being made about where to build regional jails in the state, per diem rates, those type of things. I talked to Steve Canterbury about that earlier today and about Willie's service on that Regional Jail Authority board. And it just gives you, what we've heard about Willie today. If you haven't heard about him before, I'm sure many of you have, but it kind of spreads even into this side of his impact.
Willie Akers was an extraordinary member of the Regional Jail Authority Board. He was one of the appointed county commissioners, and he took it very seriously. He did his homework extraordinarily, and he was just always prepared, but more helpful than just being prepared. When we had information that was going to be troubling to the county, he understood it. He didn't always like it, but he stood strong and helped get the Regional Jail Authority in great shape. And we were in the process of building jails, including the Southwestern Regional Jail that served Logan. And he could not have been more alert and more keyed in and just ready to play that game as well as any game he ever played.
Steve, sometimes those conversations when you're making decisions about counties and, per diems, and sometimes those aren't pleasant those aren't pleasant decisions and votes, but it seems like he was prepared for those and was really quite helpful.
Right. When we had to raise the per diem with the old system, we had to show to the penny how come we were raising it, what the costs were, and it always went up. I mean, it never went down, as you can imagine. And it wasn't stuff that he liked because no county wanted to find themselves with a bigger bill, but he was prepared, and he was so helpful talking to the County Commissioners Association as well as the general associations of county officials, and he just got people to understand why it was necessary, and he lowered the temperature dramatically. He was really quite an amazing guy, and I can't say enough good things about him, but a lot of other people will too. But my experience with him was exemplary.
Steve, what do you think that quality had that he was able to kind of lower the temperature on those type of issues?
Well, I suspect it had to do with his background as a ball player at the highest level as well as a coach, because the kind of tension and pressure and you're going to have good seasons, you're going to have bad seasons, you have to be ready for all of that, and you have to be ready to talk to the hardest people on earth to talk to, teenagers. I can't imagine a harder job, but I've known a few teenagers, and they're not easy to talk to. And he was able to get that spirit there, and he was able, I think, to simply translate that into the way he did his other jobs. The tension on a court was very little different than the tension that he would face with the other county commissioners when the bad news about a raise or some other details about building a jail and how it was going to go maybe differently than a certain county would like. But he could explain why the county jail had to close and why the regional jail was going to be located there, because the man knew his game, and he knew the game of the regional jails as well as he knew the basketball game. He was just great, and I'm really sad to hear that he's gone. What a life, though. What a life.
Steve Canterbury there, former West Virginia Regional Jail Authority Director, shedding just another little side of Willie Akers there and his service through the Logan County Commission on the Regional Jail Authority Board. You can read more reaction. It's our lead story right now at WVMetroNews.com, WVMetroNews.com. It's 2:50 on Metro News Midday. Coming up after our show, it's Dave Weekley and Coop and Ryan and the gang, Metro News Hotline. And we're going to talk to Dave. He's here. He arrived early today. No, he's always here. He's always here at this time. But we're going to talk to Dave in just a moment. Set up Metro News Hotline. It's 2:51. This is Metro News Midday.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Morning, TJ Meadows.
Good morning, sir. It's yet another beautiful day to be in pursuit of happiness, is it not?
I like the optimism. Let's see if we can take care of that by the end of the show today, shall we? Any thoughts, Mr. Meadows?
Talk Line, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
I think many people have a misconception that all that we do is infertility care, and that's not the case. Reproductive health matters whether or not you're trying to conceive. So we can be dealing with endometriosis, ovulation dysfunction, PCOS. You're getting linked up with all the specialties that you need to optimize your care. And being an advocate for your reproductive health is important. The most rewarding times that I have is when I'm empowering people to take control of their health.
.255 on Metro News Midday. Jeff Jenkins filling in today for Dave Allen. He'll be, you get big like Dave Allen. I mean, in Dave Weekly. Yeah, exactly. Huh? And Dave Weekly joins me now. Dave had a big MC event today. I mean, he was MCing at the State of the Valley.
State of the Valley.
Yeah, State of the Valley event. And I'm sure he
Putnam County.
Yeah, down at Putnam County at Valley Park. And I'm sure he got a good lunch with it, which is key.
Very important.
Yeah.
Very, very important.
Very important. Dave Weekly's with me, Metro News Hotline, just around the corner here on the network. And, and I know I'm sure you've got some thoughts on Willie Akers, too. You interviewed him, I'm sure, a number of times in your positions, and we're spending some time today talking about him and his influence.
A couple of things. First of all, you had John Antonik on today, and I thought there was a very interesting piece that he wrote at the WVU website about Jerry West planned to take Willie Akers with him to the West Coast.
Yeah.
Until Jerry got married.
Right.
And I thought that was a pretty interesting detail.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You gave me a book. There's many books written about Jerry West, and this is, pronounce the author's name for
Roland
me.
Lazenberry.
Yeah, right. Who's a West Virginia native.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if he's still there. He used to be a professor at Radford. His book has more details about Jerry than Jerry's book.
Right.
It's a much more pleasant read.
Right, called Jerry West.
Yes.
And in that there's a section about Willie. I mean, and so I went back and read last night, found it, and in that section, and Jerry was being recruited heavily because he burst on the scene, and he was being recruited heavily, and University of Maryland wanted him. So he went over on a trip, and Willie was with him. And they didn't take any tennis shoes. And there's some Maryland players that wanted to play a pickup game. So they did, barefooted, and beat the Maryland players, barefooted.
Yeah, that cashed a lot of stereotypes, didn't it?
Yeah, well, that's what they said.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what the book said.
I've always kind of felt that Willie Akers as a player was dramatically underrated. He was... And by choice, he was in Jerry's shadow. But when we talk about him and the accomplishments he had as the head coach at Logan and what he did when he was at WVU, I just kind of feel like as a player he's a little underrated. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, I think so. Key piece. One thing I remember about Willie is, not so much in recent years because of his health and his age, but for many years, and we've been doing the state tournament. The boys' state tournament for 40 years, and you would always see Willie in the same seat. After he retired from coaching, he would be at the state tournament, and you would look up there about halfway up on behind the scorers table at the Civic Center Coliseum, and that's where Willie was sitting. And he had a whole row there. His wife was always a lot there, and he had some, his sons and some others, not only for the Logan games, but they were there for other games too. You always look up. And, there was Willie watching the state tournament.
I also remember that when he was the coach at Logan, one of the things that made Logan unique was and I know that they're not the only team that ever did this, but it was they were unique in this respect, I think, in West Virginia, that they wore jackets on the road, you know? And Logan basketball then and now, but maybe not to the extent that it was then, was just, can you imagine being on one of those teams?
Yeah.
And you have your jacket.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
There you go.
You know, you'll be part of a group as you would go on the road.
What's coming up on Hotline?
We got the Pirates are playing this afternoon against the Tigers. We're going to talk a little bit about Frank Beard, who died yesterday. The drummer of ZZ Top. We got a tech news segment. Tony Caridi's coming on early. He's going to be on at 3:30 today. We'll have more on the coverage of Willie Akers passing.
All right, that all sounds good. And the question of the day, don't forget about that.
Question of the day is going to be about Columbia House. Columbia House is shutting down next month. So were you ever a member of a record club, and how did that work out?
Yeah. Get 25 for a quarter, and we'll send you
a dozen for a penny.
Okay, that's right. Only hear that on Metro News Hotline, and that's coming up with Dave, Coop, Ryan, and the gang. See, I'm giving Ryan billing here, too.
That's fair.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he's done a good job this past hour. All right, Jeff Jenkins in for Dave Allen. Dave will be back. Dave and Amanda back tomorrow on Metro News Midday. Go to our website for the news of the day, WVMetronews.com. Have a good afternoon.